I'm with Gavin McPherson after a battling point, a 0-0 draw at Worthing, our second point of the season. Gavin, you made 5 changes. I guess that was all about legs and Monday.
You have to work hard when you come here. Maggie's teams move you around. We know that. We know that from previous meetings. It was going to be no different today. So, we made quite a lot of changes. It's not necessarily to install some legs and energy in there. I'm not really talking about that, but just to freshen it up really, because those lads have been, we've had 3 really hard games before today, and you just freshen it up and you trust the squad. I've said that so many times, and I think today is the evidence of that. And then we saw people actually tire who hadn't necessarily started many games recently, so we had to bring on your youngies and your Mickey Parcells later on in the game to see things through.
And but for the last 15 minutes of the first half, when we were somewhat under the cosh to say the least, the boys equipped themselves very well, Gavin.
I think it's a fair result. I don't think it's anything else but that. And it's not as if we're not creating chances. I'm not saying we've created loads today, but we're getting in good areas of the pitch. And Lamar's header might have just crept in. And we've seen that sort of theme for every game, really, where we've created chances. And the trouble with us at the moment is just not taking a decent enough ratio. And the goals for tally speaks for itself at the moment.
Yeah.
The goals against tally is superb. We can analyse the 3 that we conceded at Torquay, but with a makeshift back 3 going in there and thrown together, that was always a possibility. But I look at us at the moment. We look solid in the shape. Now we've got to work out how we actually start taking some of these chances, because there's a bit of both really. Do we create enough? And when we do create enough, do we take them? So we've got to look at why we're not doing that and try and move on, because I think it's a very, very small margin at the moment between us doing what we've done today and winning football matches. So
and in general, Gavin, terrific discipline and a lot of energy today.
Have to when you come here. That's as simple as it is. Have to when you play Worthing. You have to have discipline. You have to have a game plan, and we stuck to it, and the boys stuck to it very, very well today. And they've been applauded for that in there, without a shadow of a doubt. It is a disciplined performance. It's a point that we will go away and think, what a great point. But now only really make something if we can go and follow it up with a good performance and points on the board on Monday, because that won't be easy at all.
I know you don't like talking about individual players, but we all thought up there that Tosh was outstanding for us today. We found some player in him, haven't we?
Yeah, listen, there were several others out there where I felt that, I thought Henry was, came back and seamlessly just went in.
Yeah.
I thought Nino was comfortable again, and Billy Leonard. So I think there was a lot out there who really I was pleased with today. And that's just an extension of what we've been so far. I think, I think we've been pleased. And I've said so many times about trusting the squad. Well, Tosh goes in. I know he played the other day. I mean it. I think we've got a squad of players here that can. That doesn't matter what what we put on the pitch. Then we won't lose out.
I have to ask you what you made of the sending off. The 3-game ban, not I believe on Monday when he can play if selected, but after that 3-game ban for Mickey. What did you make of it, Gav?
Look, it's beyond. I'm behind it. I mean, it's obviously a heavy touch from Mick, and he's stretching to get the ball. It's obviously a heavy touch. I thought at the time it was a yellow, but it's a long way from me. I'm behind it. I don't know. I mean, I've asked a few people who say seen and given. So, if that's the case, I can't complain. I'm not complaining about it. I didn't really have much of a view on it. So, my first thought was that's a yellow card. But he's given a red, and he's probably got a good reason to do it.
One last one, Gavin. Obviously, if we can back that up, as you said, with 3 points on Monday, that'll be a pretty good return from back-to-back games in 2 days.
And they're 2 very, very difficult back-to-back games. Just because teams like Tottenham are coming up, I've not had experience of them. It's it's not a team I've managed against, not a manager I've managed against, but Anders certainly has in the Southern League, and they're a well-resourced club that are bringing in players that are very, very experienced and extremely. And I think quietly they'd expect to maybe have a go at something this season. In and around the playoffs, I think they would. So I think it's a really, really difficult game. It's just another difficult game in a long line of difficult games, and we kick on.
And potentially Hish coming back. Hopefully he won't damage us in any way.
Well, look, probably put the mockers on that now. But yeah, listen, Hish came in, run his guts off for us. So you look forward to seeing him. Hopefully he doesn't put the mockers on us. But you know, we've got work to do on Monday. There's no question about that. It's a different sort of game to what we saw today. There's no question, and we're going to have to be ready, because if we're not, Tottenham will be good enough to take all 3 points.
Thank you very much, Gavin. See you on Monday.
Cheers.